Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to Dappest ASMR. Happy birthday to me! Yes, it's May 4th when you're watching this, and that is my birthday. This was filmed slightly before that. Before we get started, I wanted to make a quick little announcement that Tuesdays will now be short days, where I'm just going to be posting a short on Tuesdays, just because I have 2 jobs now, and it's getting a bit much to put out 3 normal size videos a week. So it should be 1 roleplay, 1 short, and 1 other video a week. So just so you know. Anyway, today is my birthday, and I'm turning 26. I'm so old. Like, I don't like to think I'm that old, but I'm old. Like, I'm old. And don't say that, oh, well, da-da-da. No, for me, I'm old. I just feel old. So, I did not write these down. I'm going to do them as I think of them, but I'm going to make tally marks so I can keep track of what number I'm on. But I thought it'd be fun for my birthday to do 26 facts about me. And I think some of these should be pretty interesting. Some of these, you probably, like, if you watch my channel, you know. And yeah, let's get started. Number one is I have pen pals. A lot of pen pals from all over the world, including China, Russia, France, Sri Lanka, Iceland, the Caribbeans, and then I have like 15 in the States. So yeah, I have a lot of pen pals. Number 2, I garden. I keep a garden in the spring, which I'm behind on, and I really need to put it out, but that's okay. We'll get it out eventually. But I do grow a lot of my own zucchini. I grow tomatoes, even though I'm allergic to them. I give a lot of those away, and I grow them for my family. I grow my own lettuce, my own carrots, my own onions. Oh my gosh, onions are like the easiest thing to grow. If you're like, I want to start a garden, onions, just do onions. Egyptian walking onions are even easier, and they'll like slowly take over. I like to grow Egyptian walking onions, like I just said, and Jerusalem artichokes. And so yeah, I like to garden. I have number 3 is I have a super intense sweet tooth. Like, I love sugar. I love chocolate. I love desserts. I love sweets. Like, I'm a sweet person. I'm not a salty person. I'm very sweet. Number 4, I live in a neighborhood where there are dogs every house for like 2 miles. Actually, that's not number 4, but I just heard the dogs go off and I'm like, so actual 4. I love to read. I really do enjoy reading. I like to read comedy though, which is not really a genre you ever hear about, but I love to read humor. I love quicker reads that just get you in a good mood, put you in a good mindset, and I guess that's how I also enjoy a lot of things in life, where I want to, what I consume, like media-wise, I want to laugh at, I want to feel good afterwards, so I think that's kind of also how I try to run the channel. Number 5, I love to play video games. My current games, well, I guess long-term 2 would be my Sims 4 and Minecraft. But I'm not really doing a lot of Minecraft because my server closed down, and we're trying to get it back up, but there was some issues with the owner. Then the other one, I really enjoy Sims 4, which I do have a series here, but I lost the game save for it, so I have to start that over. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but yeah. I'm really enjoying Storytime Princess. It's like this stupid little app game where you're like the main character of different stories. So like Aladdin, but it's like a gender bend Aladdin, so you're the female version of Aladdin. Why is my brain failing me? I'm working on Aladdin, but it does like Romeo and Juliet, but it's the reverse, so you're Romeo instead of, and it's like Romeo and Julius, something like that. And then like also you're Marie Antoinette, then trying to save your life. And it's like different parts of history. It's really an interesting game. So yeah, I really enjoy video games. Number 6 is I have a little sister. Yeah, she's not that little though. She's taller than me, but she is 20. She's turning 22 this year. Oh my goodness, she's so old. Number 7, I was a puppeteer for many years in middle school and high school. I was a part of a puppet troupe that we went around to like nursing homes churches, schools, and we actually perform for. Yeah. So I was in the public room. 8. I collect really weird and unusual things, and one of my favorite things to collect is handmade stuffed animals and dolls. Like out of cloth, socks, fabric, clay. I love things that are handmade. Like, I just adore anything that someone really puts their time and their energy into, and I just really enjoy, like, you know, someone who sat down and reused leftover socks that they only want of to make like a doll or something. That is the kind of thing I crave and I love to see what people can always do like that. So that was 6, 7, 5, 6, 8. That was it. So number 9, I'm a furry. I'm sure if you've been around a long time, you would have seen my suit I have 3. More like 9. But I have 3 that I wear. Can't wear. I actually have 2 that I wear. My main 2 are the zombie bear, who has this really sweet disposition, and I love running around in conventions, and everyone is like, oh my goodness, it's a zombie bear. And then they actually start talking to me, and I become this really cute, cuddly, bubbly, over-the-top character, and it makes everyone just stop and think, and they're like, huh, yeah, that's really interesting. I always love kind of twisting things. The other thing, my other one is actually an alien, so it's not really like a traditional animal. I guess a zombie bear ain't a traditional animal. It's an alien that I took like 4 or 5 different aliens from Star Trek and Star Wars, and I combined into one main alien creature. And it's my OC, and I just run around with that barely, but it's still fun. Whenever I go to like a sci-fi convention or that's when that one gets donned. So I guess I'm also a nerd. You know what? For number 10, I'm born May the 4th, which obviously, if you're watching this on my birthday, you'd know that. But May the 4th is Star Wars Day, which is May the 4th be with you, which is perfect because my family is obsessed with Star Wars. Like, my father had seen every Star Wars on opening day, all of them, up until he passed away in December. My mother loves them. My uncle has to see every one of them. It was something that I was kind of raised with. So yeah, I really like Star Wars. Yeah, so that's number 10. 11, we're going to do another one that goes with Star Wars. So when I was 8, 9, not like a young kid. No, I had been younger than that because my cousin was still in it. He probably was 9. I was probably 7. So when I was 7, I was a part of a church play, and it was the Christmas play, and everyone was supposed to dress up as toys, okay? And I was supposed to be the princess, okay? And so went home, and I was like, Dad, I need a princess costume. Mom, I need a princess costume. And my dad's response was, hey, Princess Amidala is a princess, and you could have weird donuts on your face. And I was like, yes, I want weird donuts on my face. That sounds like a great idea. So I went to a play where I was supposed to be the pink pretty princess as Princess Amidala, because that's the kind of family I was raised in. So yeah, there's number 11. We're nerds. I was raised in nerds. Some people found the nerd fandom. I was born in it, molded by it. Number 12, I like D&D. My mother likes D&D, and my sister likes D&D. Again, being raised in a nerd family. I was actually the first one in my family, I guess, that found D&D, except for my dad. My dad played it when he was a kid, and when it was like in sewers and gross, and I was like, oh, you were okay. Yeah, he actually went and played in a sewer when he was in high school. And it's like, it was so cool. I'm like, Dad, you want to go play? He's like, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be interesting. It's like, oh, okay. A little strange, but yeah, I love D&D. I love playing it. I love creating characters. My favorite race is definitely a Pathfinder race, which is the Kitsune, which is like this fox human thing. I just think there's more to do with it, because you can take boons that let you become any humanoid creature you've ever seen, and that one can be such a fun character to play if you're a bard. And then that was probably my all-time favorite character too. So bard's my favorite class, Kitsune is my favorite race, though I really love goblins too. Like, goblins are so cute, so cute. I love goblins. Oh, we created a cult for a goblin in one campaign. What was their name? I'll have to ask my sister. My sister won't remember. Yes, we've created cults for goblins that we enjoy. Because we're weird. I have a stuffed animal of that goblin somewhere. What happened to it? I have no idea. Yes, we're nuts. Anyway, that was fact 12. Fact 13. I love Disney. I guess it goes with that highly imaginative state of mind that I live in, but I love Disney. I love going to Disney World. I've been 10, 13, 18, 21. I've been 4 times for like a couple weeks each time. I love Disney World. I was supposed to go back in 2020, but because of the virus, we couldn't go, and then with my father passing, then we couldn't afford it. So eventually, one day, I'm going to save up enough money and I'm going back, because I want to see the Star Wars world. Maybe by then, though, they will have added a bunch more stuff, like the new Moana exhibit, the Mary Poppins ride, the Remy ride will be done. I'm excited for those. Honestly, I can't wait to go. So that was number 13. I love Disney. My favorite Disney movies, I have like 5, but they are Nightmare Before Christmas, Emperor's New Groove, and its substitutes, which was Kronk's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch, and Wreck-It Ralph. Even though it's like a newer, I say in quotations, it's not that new, newer one that came out when I was an adult. I love that one. I went and got a Vanellope doll that could talk to me, and I thought she was so cute, and yeah. I never saw Ralph Breaks the Internet, though, which is kind of interesting with how much I was obsessed over Wreck-It Ralph. I never went and saw the second one. Interesting. I really should go do it. I also never saw Incredibles 2, which is another one I probably should go see. Okay. Number 15. I am allergic to tomatoes and alcohol and pineapples and citrus. Citrus aren't as bad as the other ones, though. But I have been allergic to tomatoes specifically since I was like born. Like whenever I would eat anything that had tomato in it, I'd get these weird rashes all over me, specifically down there, and I still do. Like, I'll just erupt anywhere where there's more than one layer of clothing turns into a rash, so I just avoid it. I'll get really bad sores within my mouth. It's really not pretty, so I am allergic. My sister is so allergic to pineapples, though. I'll have a very similar reaction that I have to tomatoes. She's so allergic, though, she has to carry an EpiPen. And she didn't know about her allergies till like 2 or 3 years ago. We were in Indianapolis, and they had one of those coolers of water that has the fruit in it, and it had pineapples in it. And we never eat pineapples because I was allergic to it, so we just would avoid it. But she like was really thirsty. She chugged half that, and we almost lost her. So yeah, I'm allergic to stuffs. So is she. Number 16. I had ferrets for most of my life. The main pet I've had for most of my life are ferrets. If you don't know what they are, look them up. They're adorable. But they're kind of like weasels. They're in the same family as like the weasel family. They're super cute. Super cute. They're much better than dogs and cats, just saying. Yeah, I love ferrets. I rescued most of my ferrets. So they had lots of medical problems. And right now I just can't afford like a $300 a month vet bill. Which is what my last one had. Ferrets can have epilepsy. Did you know that? I didn't know that till I had one. I had one that had like epilepsy, and then his sister was completely deaf. So it's an interesting couple. But yeah, I've had ferrets most of my life. That's number 16. Number 17. I grew up in a very artistic household. My mother has a master's in fine arts, but she was also the coordinator. She not really owned it. She coordinated a gallery for many, many, many years during my childhood, which basically means all the artwork would come in. She would set them up. She would tear down. She would help run gallery openings and that. So I often spent my weekends at galleries in like little black dresses, and I definitely grew up with that style of life. And so I So I really had this really deep understanding of art growing up, being raised in that. Okay, so the next one, which one should I do next? My mind just went like 30 facts. My next one, I've had tea with a prince. I think, was it Colombia or Uganda? It was District of Columbia, I think. Anyway, the prince of one of the African countries went to my mom's college, and he was doing this historical thing, right? Or cultural? I guess it'd be more cultural, where he brought in all these expensive, priceless artifacts from his country, and he had like this big gallery opening. Well, my mom was one of the coordinators, so she got us in, like the kids, we were the only 2 kids there, for this big like dinner and tea service with this prince. So yes, I've had tea with a prince, and it was so much fun. But then we went to the gallery section, and there's like these priceless masks and this like coffin inlaid with like seashells and gold and like precious gems and all that, and like these beautiful ornate ceremonial outfits. And we're the only kids there, right? So there's probably at this point like 100 people in the gallery looking, oohing, awing, historical, everything. And I think I was like 11, maybe 10. I was not that old. My sister was probably 6 or 7, okay? And we were raised in the galleries, which is the only reason why we were allowed, because we would walk around with our hands behind our back in military fashion. Don't touch anything or you could die. Because I was constantly being surrounded with artwork that was worth like $1 million. So I grew up with this thought process of, if you touch this artwork, you could die, because your parents cannot afford it. And so this prince walks up, grabs my hand, drags me to his grandmother's coffin, unused, and starts making me pet this gold and things. And he's like, children, you are not human. Act human. Go break something. Go touch things. And it was like the scariest moment of my life, of this prince grabbing my hand and just dragging me and my sister around, making me touch the mask. And it was cool. Like, I've never experienced something so awesome in my life, but it was kind of terrifying, because I thought that my mom's boss was going to pass out and fire her. Like, that was my thought process. Thankfully, she did not get fired or failed out of college, but it was like one of the weirdest, coolest experiences of my life, was meeting the prince, having tea with him, and then him dragging me to touch like all his cultural stuff. So yeah, that was number 18. I really enjoy open mic nights that are not mainstream, I guess would be a word for it. I spent most of my high school Thursdays going with my mother to a open mic night that was in a 100-year-old hardware store that barely had any electricity, so you only could play the piano or acoustic guitar, or you could perform like beat poetry, there's a word for it, or we had people come in that were not ventriloquist, acrobatics, and they hooked up these hoops to the ceiling, and you could watch that. And there were people who brought in banjos, and it was one of the weirdest times of my life, but one of the coolest times of my life, to be in such an old building and just these people all come together who were total hippies. Let's be real, maybe you should not have let young impressionable people with these group of people, but it was such a chill, wonderful environment growing up that, you know, playing with them, and we had Native Americans come in and do their dances, and it was just such a very unique experience. So yeah, there we go. I was 19. 20. I adore going to zoos, museums, national parks, things like that, but I hate camping. I know, weird. Growing up, my mother during the summer always put me in summer camps, but she also always was taking me to zoos, to museums, to stuff like that. So my summer was always very packed and very cultural experiences, because I live really close to Chicago. And what she would do is, or they had a deal that if you bought the membership for one of the main like museums in Chicago, you would get it for all of them. And it used to be like 127 zoos, museums, things like that. And so she would go around our area and day trip all the ones we could reach. And then we would go to a ton of zoos and stuff. So it was really fun. I absolutely love animals. I was a Hoosier ecologist. I don't remember. It was like junior Hoosier ecologist. Something. It was nothing important, but it was like you had to do so many service hours and so much training. Like I think I had over 200 hours of natural based training where you would go and study that. And so yeah, I really enjoy going places, seeing animals, going into nature. I'm not the kind of person to go to a club. I'm really not. I don't enjoy it. But I really enjoy exploring the nature and universe that we live in and finding the weird nook and crannies of our world. So yeah, week number 20. Number 21, I was a Girl Scout for like my entire life up until high school. I left in high school because I was doing puppeteering, piano lessons, and I was like doing clinicals and vocationals and that. So I stopped, I think in middle school actually. But yeah, as a kid, I was a Girl Scout. I had the quickest time for the Bronze Award, which if you're a brownie, it's like the biggest award you can get. I had every patch in brownies and daisies. Not juniors because I was sick of the politics of Girl Scouts, because I not only earned my Browns badge, but then it wasn't like I had it signed off by two of the main people in Girl Scouts because they were with me, which is how we did the run, and they're like, no, you can't make that possible. There's no way. I think I did it in less than like 2 days because you only need like 15 hours in this one part and then the rest of it can be done. And I literally didn't sleep for 2 days to get it done, and I was supposed to get it, and then they're like, we're not accepting this, even though it was signed off. So I earned it twice in like a month because I'm that good. Yeah. There was a lady there though named Mother Nature. She was so sweet, and she was like the coolest Girl Scout ever. She was like 90. It was like one of the more famous Girl Scouts. It was really fun. I enjoyed the camping aspect of Girl Scouts. I enjoyed the crafting aspects of Girl Scouts. I hated the Girl Scouts I was with. They were drama oriented. I was relentlessly bullied, but I then spent more time in other troops. I think 4th or 5th grade I left their troop, and then I became a roving Girl Scout where I'd go from troop to troop and I would do classes and I would do stuff. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, but I also had a lot of problems in it. So yeah, there's two sides to every coin. I loved being in it, but I also hated being in it. So again, two sides to every coin. I loved camping, but I did not enjoy people I was with. Most of them apologized later on in like high school and that. They actually sought me out and apologized. So I guess it's good, you know? People can change, and definitely giving them that option to change is always good. Okay, now I'm getting sappy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. What's next? Oh, in high school, I was obsessed with manga. I don't read a lot of it anymore just because I don't have a lot of time to read, and when I do have a lot of time to read, which I guess in April I had so much time to read, I don't want to carry around like 10 books to last me like 2 hours. But I loved it because we had someone in our high school whose job was to translate Japanese manga into English. So, and he would always he would get to keep a copy of it that had his notes in it. So it was the Japanese manga, but then over it was all the English words. And he'd give these copies to his daughter. And his daughter would bring them to us, and we got to read them. So I got to read lots of really weird manga, like smaller groups. So I never read Naruto. I did read some of Black Butler. I read up to 23 Naruto. Not enough. But I loved these smaller mangas that no one ever really talks about or knows about. They were only usually like 1 or 2 books, and they were so fun. But we added up how many books she had that meant I read, and I have read over 2,000 different manga. Do I remember a lot of them? No, because the titles were never translated, so it was like, I don't know what it is. It's just that one manga that I really enjoy. So yeah, that has led to some of my weirdest moments in my high school career, because I would read them during high school. I would average around 8 books a day, sometimes more, during school. I don't know how I managed to get on honor rolls, honestly. I was like top 50% of my class. I really was. I was top 50%, not top 50, top 50%. And I still got honors, graduated with honors. I graduated with really good grades. I read books, a lot of books. But yeah, it was really awesome growing up with someone like that. Yeah. Fact 23. Fact 23. I hated drama in school, but now that I'm an adult, I am a complete and total gossip. Just I'm gonna say it. At work, I am the gossip, and I know it. Sometimes I'm not proud of it. Sometimes I'm really proud of it. But in high school, I hated drama. I hated talking to people. Like, if I thought you were going to tell me something negative about someone else, I'd get up and leave. Now, I work in a daycare situation with a lot of parents, and I feel like it's almost necessary now, because you want your coworkers to tell you what's going on, so that you're not walking into a hostile situation with a bunch of parents and you have no idea what happened. So I think it's almost become necessary to be a gossip, but it's also just fun. Like, I don't know. Is that weird? It's probably really weird that I've grown into that position. But I love talking. I love finding out what people are doing. I'm not like, if someone tells me this is a secret, keep it, I will never tell a soul. Like, I'm capable of keeping secrets, but if you don't mention it's not a secret, it's fair game. I'm just saying, it's unfortunately fair game. So you have to tell me. Like, if this is a secret, like, I'm a great listener. I'm one of the best listeners that you will ever meet. But I'm also a little gossip. So it's kind of that give and take that you have, and most people now have learned that if they don't need to tell something, you look at me and you're like, don't tell anyone, and then we're good. I'm not going to tell a living soul. But I really enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy getting to know people, and I will probably use that information to tell other people, so that other people have a more round understanding of you and how proud I am of people. Usually I'm very positive. I love to be positive with people, especially with children. Like, if a kid does something amazing, that kid knows I'm going to go tell that other teacher. I'm going to go tell their parent. I'm going to praise that person. So I guess this is like, not like the bad gossip, but I'm still a gossip, and I know it, and I'm sort of proud of it, but I'm also not sort of proud of it, and I understand something, and maybe something I need to be a little bit more aware of, but it's how things are, how things will be. 10, 15, 20, 23, 6 more. No, I'm sorry, 3 more facts. My car is older than I am. Yes, my car is turning 27 in August. It is like 9 months older than I am, and it has been in the family longer than I have. It was my grandma's car before it was my car. So it's this weird thing. I drive an old station wagon. But yes, my car is older than I am. There you go. I don't know. I'm running out of facts. I need to. Wow. I enjoy. Oh, okay. We'll do some ASMR things. For the next one, ASMR, my favorite type of ASMR is actually roleplays. I really love roleplays. They're generally my favorite. But I hate roleplays where you die. I just can't handle that. Like, you will not, I'm not gonna say you'll never. You will most likely never be in a roleplay in my videos that you'll die, because I hate that kind of contact. I watch ASMR to feel good, feel relaxed, and that abrupt ending makes me feel weird, makes me feel unusual. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's really not. If that's your cup of tea, perfect. Just not mine. I don't, which is weird because I used to love horror films, but I don't like my ASMR and my horror to be mixed. But that being said, I really enjoy certain videos where it's like gets more scary. Like Halloween's my first time where people are different species, creepy dolls, clowns. So yeah, that's my next fact, is that I don't like my ASMR videos to be death, and I love role plays. My last fact is going to be, I like clowns. I'm not scared of them. I grew up with an aunt that was a clown, and she was the most sane person in our family. Sane, like not insane, sane. Okay? I grew up with a very unique family, and the voice of reason in our family was a clown. And you're like, oh, what kind of family? No, that's the point. That when I think of someone who's very stable in my life, it's the clown. She's a retired clown now. But she was always so sweet. She was very shy. And when she wasn't a clown, when she was a clown, she was very bubbly. And that was her way. She wanted to have a job where she could talk to people without being nervous, and how she could make people's days. She was very friendly, very sweet. She still is. She's perfectly fine. She's my aunt. But just that feeling of someone who spent their life trying to make people happy and joyous, that's someone I want to emulate, you know? And she was a clown, and she definitely shaped my perception of clowns. How at the end of the day, they're there to entertain. And maybe there's a genre of scary clowns that want to scare you, but that's still a form of entertainment. And so I really like clowns. Alright. That is all our facts today. Do I remember anything I just said? No, but it's been about half hour, so I'm going to let you go. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye! Oh, and I love you.